And we've opened up, whoops, there goes our box. And my hair's blowing around, and it's mine. The one thing you can't get away with, if it's not yours, you got a problem, if you're president. I play golf. I play very nice. Did you see the picture of me, the horrible picture with the stomach out to here? That was... So what I do is I'm putting up today a picture of me actually, what I actually look like, hitting a ball, smashing the frickin' ball. And you'll see quite, I wouldn't say slim, but not bad.
Now, obviously, Donald Trump is used to doing the bullying. He's always talking about how people look. But if you mention something very obvious about him, he can't handle it. He can't handle what he dishes out. But Trump isn't the only person who's getting defensive about his appearance.
And we know that he's too tired and sleepy to stay awake through his own criminal trial. It's not President Biden who's not sharp. It's, in fact, Donald Trump. Now, let's look at public reporting. I'm only going to talk about public reporting. His criminal trial started on April 15th. And here's a summary of the press reports. On his first day of his trial, Reuters reported that Trump appeared to doze off during jury selection. On April 16th, it was reported that Trump dropped his head inside the courtroom, keeping his eyes closed before jolting his head upright. On April 19th, the New York Times reported Trump's eyes remained, quote, closed for extended periods during the final day of jury selection. On April 22nd, MSNBC reported that Trump's lawyers were fighting to keep him awake. On April 30th, NBC and the New York Times reported that Trump nodded off for significant portions of witness testimony, and as we all know, basically kept his eyes closed for hours and hours on end. On May 9th, Trump's eyes remained closed for many minutes, and Trump later, of course, dozed on and off. And the reports go on and on. May 13th, Trump was, quote, asleep during the afternoon session. On May 14th, a political reporter said Trump slouched in his seat and closed his eyes and his mouth. Now, here we have a photo of Donald Trump, of course, through some of his trial.
You know, every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping. As you say, I think he's praying. But if he is sleeping, you know, he certainly looks pretty while he sleeps. Maybe it's an endearing moment of prayer, though. I know when I fall asleep on airplanes, you know, my mouth kind of drops open. And, you know, his mouth is kind of tight-lipped. So maybe it's just a somber moment of
I mean,
thought.
He's sleeping. It's been reported by multiple press outlets.
I was in the courtroom today,
sleeping.
and I could see why someone would fall asleep, just like George Conway fell asleep today.
He's like King Kong, and they're sending Maddow down there, and she's looking at him like an animal. She's like, oh, man, his hair is really orange. Look at his eyes. Look at his lips. He's angry. He's mad. He's upset. Watching him. They're not providing any sort of legal analysis. Joy Reid went down there. He's like, well, he's bigger than I thought he was. I mean, they're acting like it's like a zoo creature. And what happens with King Kong? You remember?
They killed King Kong.
Yeah.
What do you love about Donald Trump?
I love everything about Donald Trump. I feel he can be trusted and feel comfortable, and it's peace of mind.
And tell me a little bit about what you liked when he was president. What are some of the things he did that you agreed with?
I agreed with everything he did.
One specific?
I can't think on the spot, but everything I'm happy with.
You're out here because you like Donald Trump, I'm guessing.
That's right.
And what did Donald Trump do? You've seen one or two presidents, I'm guessing, in your 40 years. What did Donald Trump do as president that made your life better?
I like the way he doesn't back down. He might not always be correct, but he admits it, and he does not back down when it comes to the country.
What brings you out here? What do you like about Donald Trump?
Everything. What's not to like, you know?
What specifically?
He's for the American people. I mean, look, he's in Pickens, of all places, small town. You know, everybody else would have been in big cities and not caring about places like this, but he made a point to come to small town America, you know, so.
I think a lot of people voted for the first time just because they never knew there was fake news and the rigged elections and indoctrinating our children, and everything is the opposite of reality is what everybody tells you and everybody believes. You know, he's the most unifying president ever in history, and all the numbers show it. And probably get record black and Hispanic votes again this election, but they make him out to be the divider and the most racist president, divisive president is made out to be the unifier. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy.
Tell me what you like about Donald Trump. What is it that you respond to?
He's not fake. He's upfront. You know what he's thinking. He tells the truth as far as,
You know, Trump is obsessed with everybody's looks, especially Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden thinks that he looks good in a bathing suit. But there's like no pictures available, at least none that I've seen, of Donald Trump in a bathing suit, because he knows what he looks like in it. And if he wasn't so, judgmental about other people's looks, then nobody really would go at him for his, because generally speaking, adults kind of mature out of those types of things. But nonetheless, this is the man that millions of people want to be on the throne, literally. They want him to go in there and give them their country back. You know, the country that's being stolen from them by the Mexicans and all the brown people coming from the southern border. And of course, the gays and the trans people and, that whole crowd. We got to take it back from them because they're getting a little bit too much freedom in here. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, he may end up becoming president because the Biden administration is just slipping up at every turn.